Guys, this is Brian Mounts with turfmechanic.com. Today, I'm going to expand my lawn using sprigs. I'm not going to expand my main lawn. I'm going to expand my parkway strip. What's a sprig, you might ask? It's growing in your lawn. Do you see them? No. You kind of got to do that and find them. There's a little one. There's one right there. Ooh, that's a nice one. It's a nice meaty one. You can also find them by going up to the edge of your sidewalk. If you don't trim it often enough, you can find one there. All of these are all sprigs. A sprig is a stolon from a warm season grass that you pluck or cut off of the main lawn. Before you cut it, it's a stolon. After you cut it, it's a sprig. Here in my main lawn, I also have stolons. They're coming out over the edge, but I don't want to use these because that's a different grass type than this. So if you're going to be expanding your lawn using sprigs, use the exact grass type that you want. You can buy sprigs from stores, typically online, or really nice nurseries that you might have in your town. But I like the idea of harvesting your own sprigs. You might be surprised how many sprigs you can get in your lawn, especially if you go pick out like a leaf rake and just start raking the grass. A ton of these things are going to come up, and all you got to do is pluck them. So there's my parkway strip. I was just standing there. This is the section of the parkway strip that I want to expand. I want to take my Buffalograss and put it here, but I don't want to put down grass seed, and I don't want to go out and buy sod. In fact, this time of year, I can't even buy grass seed or sod for Buffalograss. Everything's out of stock. But here is something I want to show you. This is something I did 2 months ago, specifically for this video, just to illustrate the just to illustrate the power of sprigs. So 2 months ago in August, I took a single sprig from that lawn over there and I stuck it here, covered it up with dirt, and now it's growing its own stolons. And this is well established. This is one single thing. So if you had one little sprig and you stuck it there, you stuck some dirt on top of it, a little bit, better than what I just showed you right there. But you stick some dirt on top of it, it will root down and then start growing out in all directions. Now again, these are warm season grasses that grow stolons. Not all grasses grow stolons, but every warm season grass does. So just think, pluck a whole bunch of sprigs, put them all down, all over the place, cover them all up with soil, and they all re-root down and turn into a larger mat. So if you got a whole bunch of them, that larger mat starts looking a lot like a lawn. Now, I'm going to be doing this on bare dirt. However, you could just do it on patches, something like this. So if you've got a nice lawn, but you got like a dead spot or some bare dirt spot, all this needs is a couple stolons sticking on top of it. We treat the stolons, cover it up, and they will re-root down so long as we're giving them enough water. And it doesn't take long for a small patch like this, or maybe even a bigger patch, some sort of dead spot in your lawn, to fill in and turn into a brand new lawn space, or at least repair lawn space that's struggling. So I keep doing this for a good long time and find probably 2, 3, 4 times as much. But this is a good starting point. It's a good way to illustrate how to do this. All right, now that we know generally how to prep the soil bed, the place that we're going to put these stolons on, we got to ideally prepare the stolons. So you could just put the stolon down, put some peat moss on and water it, just like I previously showed you, but this is actually better. Almost across the board in life, if things are harder to do, they're usually worth it. So embrace the challenge of extra steps. Take your stolons. It could be a bucket, could be a wheelbarrow full, depends on how many stolons you're plucking. This is my example. These are fresh. I just plucked them, like 20 minutes ago. I'm going to fill this up with water. Suppose I'm not going to fill it all the way up because I got to mix. I don't want it splashing all over the place. Either shop on the internet Or go to, like, get in your car and drive to the local garden store in your town. Every town has a garden supply store. Find yourself something that says seaweed extract or kelp extract or kelp, liquid seaweed, whatever it says. That's what we're after. If you really want to be sure, look around to the back, take a look at your derived from or ingredients. This one says derived from Norwegian kelp. Ascophyllum nodosum. That's what you want to see. Ascophyllum nodosum. That is a variety of North Atlantic sea kelp, Norwegian kelp. Inside the extract, we're talking this is like less than $10 bottle. It doesn't cost very much. You can buy it 5 minutes from your house. Inside kelp or kelp extract are growth hormones. Kelp is the plant in the world that grows faster than basically anything. It has the most growth hormones naturally occurring in it than anything. This grass right here has growth hormones growing in it, but the kelp has more. That's why we use that. Grab some of this, just buy a bottle, get your fresh water, your fresh stolons, and you ready for this? You don't even need to measure. Oops, well, I got to get the cap off. There we go. You don't even need to measure. Just a couple ounces or so. If you got like a wheelbarrow, you're going to need some more. It's all nice and thick, and we just mix it in here. You're just squishy. This is not a chemical. I don't even need gloves. I'm going to wash my hands before I eat a hot dog with it, but you know what I mean. They're going to get everything wet. This is called drenching or root drenching, soil drenching. All of this grass, these stolons, these sprigs are fresh. So every node and every open space that I just clipped is going to be absorbing some of this kelp, some of the growth hormones. Every node can root down. So if we can get some of this stuff to uptake some of the kelp, it's going to root down much faster, much more efficiently, and more of the stolons, more of the sprigs are actually going to take. You cannot, doing this, you cannot assume every single sprig is going to turn into grass. Some of them will die. Many of them won't. You want to use a lot of them so that the ones that take fill the lawn in. The ones that die, we don't really care about. So long as we get enough on the ground, enough of them will root, enough of them will take, and the eventual lawn will fill in. While this is steeping for the next, 5 to 20 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and water my dirt spot. So all of the stuff, all of the area that I plan on putting the sprigs down, I want to deeply water the dirt that I'm going to put this stuff on so that there's plenty of soil moisture under the stolons, under the sprigs. It would be somewhat foolish to sit there and put a whole bunch of sprigs onto completely bone-dry dirt and hope that they root down into it. Some of them will, but man, it's going to happen a lot better if everything is wet. Right, as you can clearly see in this video footage, after about 4 weeks or so, after putting the sprigs down, covering them up, giving them water, everything kind of looks like it's dying. And the reason for that is because we clipped green grass with no roots off of the top of our lawn, and then we put it on the dry dirt, or the wet dirt in this case, covered it up, so the green grass on top, plus all of the stored carbohydrates in the stolon itself, has to start sending roots down into the soil. So 100% of the plant energy has to go into root production. So after about 4 weeks, nothing looks good at all. Nothing looks like it's growing. But that doesn't mean that the grass is dead. If you were to go down and start pulling stuff out of the ground, you would start seeing all of the green foliage on top has kind of withered away, but every one of those stolons is starting to put down new roots into the dirt. And once the new roots develop in the dirt, then new green grass can start growing on the top, and then eventually the plant can start sending out stolons in all directions again. Now, in my case, I put this stuff down in October, and my last video footage from the fall was in early November. We went into winter dormancy. Throughout the course of the winter, everything kind of stopped progressing. And then by the time spring rolled around, everything started growing again, including the weeds. Now, I could have put down a weed pre-emergent to stop a lot of these weeds, and I could have put down a weed killer to kill off a lot of these weeds. But because I don't want to injure baby grass that is barely rooted, I've just allowed everything to go. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to allow everything to go for the rest of the 2025 season. In the next few days, I'm going to be applying a cocktail of herbicides to all of my buffalo grass. Although all of this buffalo grass looks great, if I get close, there are some weeds in here. And if I don't do anything, then those weeds are going to start becoming more and more obvious. Over here, they are very obvious. But as you can tell, all of the grass, all of the sprigs that I put down have really started taking off. Now, obviously, this is not looking perfect yet, but over the course of the summer, because buffalo grass is a warm season grass, the longer the day is and the hotter the temperature is outside, the more the grass will continue to grow and fill in. Also, I deal with, since I'm here on the parkway strip, I deal with dogs coming over here. Dogs like dig and scratch when they walk by. You can't get around it. So there's a couple spots in here that have been damaged by dogs over the winter season. And eventually it will all fill in. Like, I've done it before. I've done this a few times. It's not my first time around the block. So I know it'll come together. There's also plenty of stuff in here. This is like Poa annua that's like died off. And there's a handful of other weeds in here. So my cocktail of herbicides that's going to go on this is going to be in a video coming down the road, probably in about 10 days for those of you guys that subscribe to this channel. If you subscribe, you'll see it coming out in about 10 days. If you're watching this later on, I'll go ahead and link to it in the upper corner of the screen. So make sure to watch that, because buffalo grass does take a very long time to really thicken to the point where it can suppress weeds on its own. So during that phase, you've got to deal with it manually. You got to actually put product down or do a lot of hand weeding to control the situation. This right here will look exactly like that in a few months. Future videos will show me expanding the buffalo grass further on down the parkway strip. It's a lot of work to do that by hand.